And at the end of the day, we talked about this before. We have one thing in common. And that's why you probably watch this channel. We all are nerds for technique. We all have a big passion for music.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Hey. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a great day. This is Studio Visitor, the podcast about European music studios talking gear, philosophy, and history. And we're in Berlin, in Blactronic Studios West, in the west of Berlin. And I'm meeting here with my friend Dennis Kreutzberg.
Hello, hello. Nice
How are
to
you
have you
doing?
here. I'm very nice. Hope you're good too.
Yeah, I'm very fine. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome to my studio on the Iceberg Island. We're actually on an island right now,
Really?
which is pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, there's like one way on the island, one way off the island. So
Oh, that's what the bridge is for.
that's what a bridge is for. You don't have to come by boat here.
Tell me a little bit. How did your career got started?
I mean, I actually started producing music, like more than any type of engineering stuff. And the funny thing is, like, I can't really tell when I started, but my first steps into music was like probably around 95 when I think it was the PlayStation 1 or 2 or
Yeah.
something, the gray box. I don't know.
Yeah, one and
Correct
two.
me if I'm wrong, 1 and 2. Yeah. There was a music program called Music 2000. I don't know if anyone remember.
I
But it
do.
was, I think it should be around 95 or something. And that was my first, yeah, that's my first ways into music. That's how I started. And of course, later on, like around 2000 or so, I had my first PC back then, which is like pretty bad PCs back then. But yeah, from there on, it started growing because
Was that already the era of Pentium processors, or?
yes, I think Celeron or Celeron.
Yeah, Celeron was more the game for.
The weaker ones, I
Yeah, the
think.
weaker ones.
Yeah. But that was at the time the only thing I could afford. I was pretty bad, but I think for that purpose back then was enough.
Do you remember what first DAW you used?
My very first DAW was FL, Fruity Loops. It called back then Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
I think they got sued for the name.
Really?
Yeah, because of the cereals, Fruity Loops. So it's only FL now.
FL Studio.
I think it's because of that. Prove me wrong. I mean,
I
when I'm
don't know.
wrong,
I don't know.
Yeah, I
never
think it's
got
because
hold
of
of
that.
that.
But that was the first one. I think it was FL2 or something. It was a friend of mine who gave me, who burned it on a CD back then, and that was the first time I tried a DAW actually, like working in there, and you know, it was it's still some kind of a drum computer, just and
Pattern-based sequencer.
pattern-based sequencer, right? So that was the first one.
But before that, no experience.
No, nothing really. I mean, it's. I think when I started music, it was that time where people are still. It was really expensive to produce music because you needed a lot of stuff back then. You know, nowadays you can have a fully equipped studio on your laptop. So
yeah, we spoke before the recording session. It's like you need to have a decent sound card, and a decent sound card doesn't have to be expensive.
And you're ready to go.
And a really powerful computer, laptop, whatever.
So yeah, for me back then it was the only thing I could afford. So that's how I started off with.
If you compare it to now, what are the biggest changes in production techniques?
Oh wow, like from really back then, like I mean, like technology in general has changed a lot. I mean, it's so easy to make music nowadays, like I just said, and I think that's probably the big. Everyone can do music everywhere in a short amount of time. Like you don't need a big studio. You don't need actually like real synthesizers anymore or anything like that.
No.
You're just ready to go everywhere, every time. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Did you instantly work with all the instruments and samples FL Studio gave you, or?
Yeah, back then it was a bit of a struggle to find like good samples. I can remember I bought a sample CD from a friend. I don't know where he got it from. I mean, not friend, from someone else. and he sold it to me like, "Hey, you can buy these." I think it was just like kick drum and snare samples or something, but and I sampled a lot myself. I still have a folder where I don't know, like from any type of genre where there was a part where when there was just a kick drum or a snare drum, I cut it out and sampled it.
Really?
That's how I got my samples.
You still using these samples in your drum
No,
kits?
not really anymore.
Is it just for nostalgic?
Yeah. I'm kind of collecting samples. I don't know. I have like too many samples. I never got rid of them because it takes time to delete and select which one to delete, and so.
You evolved through the time. Did you stick to FL Studio or?
Production-wise, yes. I still use FL. I mean, the newest version, I don't know what it is, FL 20 or something. But I added like Cubase to when it comes to mixing and recording and especially editing. To me, my workflow, it really fits better than FL. I know you can do everything in FL too, but I really feel more comfortable and I can do like, I don't know, I can work better and faster in Cubase. I did work with Pro Tools as well and Logic as well, but I don't know, Cubase is the one for me to go.
Creating music, what kind of genre did you start in?
I come from hip hop.
Really?
Straight hip hop. Yeah, back then I had like lots of hip hop projects going on. I remember we had a project back then. It's called DJ Size, which is one of my main colleagues today, my main partners. And we did a song. It was at the time when Timbaland released The Way I Are. So it was
amazing record.
Amazing record. I think it was right before even. So for me, it was so crazy. It was house music all the way. And I was like, back then was MySpace. And I was even ashamed to put it on MySpace because it's not hip hop, it's house music. So yeah, I was a complete hip hop head back then. All hip hop.
But you did a lot of other styles?
Of course, yeah. I mean, except maybe rock music, because I think especially for rock music, you really need like to play a guitar at least or something. But I love everything, house, pop music, dance, whatever. So, yeah.
Whatever. Were they chartbusters or just underground projects?
No, I had a couple of ones. I just had a release. I do K-pop stuff, like I told you, like Korean pop stuff. I think it was a song on a short EP, like 5 tracks or so, and it went like, I think top 30 on the US Billboards. So it's pretty okay.
Not
yeah,
bad.
It's not that bad. No.
Not bad for just a guy out of Berlin.
Right, right. And yeah, I mean, back in the days, I had some stuff. I think the best chart place song was something like 30 or something.
Yeah, not bad.
At
either.
least.
Yeah.
At least.
At least you made the chart.
At least somewhere.
Recently, you switched to, like you told me, you switched to K-pop, and we had an interesting conversation before this episode. Tell me, in your own words, what makes it that fun? Because you really found fun again in making music.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was like, not that I'm not enjoying making music, but at some point it's really like becoming technical. You know what to do, and okay, it's for the German market because then there are these type of rules. And when I discovered the Korean pop market a little bit more, thanks for Saving Music, by the way, for this because he brought me into this, and I'm still working with him a lot. It's different because it's so, how to say that, it's so versatile. It's freaky in a kind of way because you can like really let your inspiration go and just go and produce. It's like it's really fun to produce it.
Whatever you want to write, you It's
Right.
accepted.
Yeah, right. I mean, you can produce a dance song and have a trap part in it. You know, you can just really go crazy on the production side.
It's really a mixture of
It's really,
genres.
and it's actually it's pretty good music if you know if you really check on K-pop, it's crazy stuff in there.
When you produce the track, what is the most important thing to start with, or that needs to happen for you?
A concept. I think that's the most important. I mean, there are sometimes I just start right away because I want to, you know, have some feelings in me that I want to express. But in general, I try to start off with a concept. Like especially in K-pop, they have concepts for their songs. If a song is released, there's a whole concept behind it. Like there's a dance already, there's a way to promote it. You know, there's everything is set. So,
Yeah.
and I think that's a pretty good point though. So to know this song, okay, let's find a concept. For example, if it says something about a phone call or something, you put like phone call sounds in there, just mix it with the song and make it, you know, just make it a concept.
Yeah, but eventually you're going to record the song to its final verse. But what is more important then, the concept or the performance of the artist?
Oh, okay, that's a tough one. I think it's for sure the performance of the artist is really important. You really have to make sure it matches. Yeah, it's a balance. You can really destroy a song or a concept if it not works or if the artist just don't deliver. But the good thing is over the time we have a good range of crazy good artists in here. Like at the very end, it's only for pitching for demo purpose, you know.
Yeah.
But we try to make it as good as possible up front.
Yeah.
So and I think, like I said, I'm working with awesome, talented writers and singers and artists. So we actually know how to make things work.
In your humble opinion, does any project with a certain concept suit for any artist, or is it like you said about balance?
I mean, like there are we're not pitching blind. They're always like we get briefings from the Korean labels. So we actually know what they're looking for. So, and I think we did a lot of stuff already. So, and we know the briefings pretty well. It's always coming this sort of the same styles again. So we know what it's missing in our library, and we know what we have to produce. So
after this process, you're gonna produce a song, and like me, you're a hybrid guy.
yeah, I am.
For now.
Let's see how long. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting, debatable discussion.
Absolutely,
I'm
yeah.
thinking about selling my gear and don't know yet.
Which I
But-
can fully understand.
Except for the preamps.
Mhm.
What's the most important piece of equipment you have to start with? Is it in the box or out the box?
For production,
Yeah.
definitely in the box. I mean, the only thing I need out the box, especially for producing a song, is probably a microphone and a preamp. As sad as it sounds, but I mean that's the reality. Especially in K-pop, everything is pretty fast. When we get briefings, deadlines are like within a month, within a week or so.
Wow.
Yeah. So we don't have like that much of time to work on songs or stuff. So everything has to get done really quick. So
And
you
it
don't
would-
have that much time. I mean, it's really nice to even to record in here because I have some type of equipment I really love, and I know when I send vocals through it, it really sounds like thick and full already. I have to do less in the box then, but you know, work with the stuff or with the situation I have in front of me.
If you start producing a project, is there any kind of specific method you make by yourself, or any kind of technique you use to start a project?
No, not really, because it depends on how the project starts. Or I mean, sometimes we start actually from zero, from scratch. Like we meet in the studio and start coming up with ideas and just make sure. I think vibe is a good thing, like to keep a good vibe at the session.
Really important.
Really important. Yeah, I mean, more important than having like the best equipment
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
world,
sure.
just to make sure that the music or the feeling, the vibes are good and everyone delivers, just pushing yourself up. But other than that, no, there's no real like method to start off a project or something. No, not really.
Not really?
Not really. No, not really. Just go.
The ideas, how do you gain them? Is it with the briefing from the labels, or?
Where are the ideas coming? I mean, the more you are into it, like into K-pop or something, you get, I don't know, that's at least how I feel. The more ideas come, because you really are into, like, I'm actually listening to K-pop. Like I have a couple of playlists on Spotify, and I just, when I drive in the car, I hear them and check. Okay, that's a crazy idea. That's a crazy idea. So I get used to how like K-pop sounds.
Are these kind of references for you to
Absolutely,
yeah?
absolutely. I mean, like, I'm not copying it. I'm not saying, okay, they have this kind of topic, so I'm gonna grab this one. It's just that I see, okay, that's what the people really like. Like they want to have concepts, and then from time to time, I have like, I don't know, everywhere, wherever I am, I have an idea to
Pick
work with a
pick
concept.
pick one idea out of all the songs that you use the most.
One idea. We just like I had this phone call thing, and we just made a song called Beep. But it's actually more of a hard beep, but it was a super simple. It's already on hold, like we at the second or third pitch even. And yeah, let's see, pushed on.
When the project is finished, you go into the box,
Mm-hmm.
and when you start mixing. When you start mixing a track, is there any kind of specific method how you line up the files, what you do to files, or?
No, not really. I just need to make sure everything is in the right order for me. So I'm really used to my workflow, especially when mixing.
What is the right order for you?
The right order is I always have my drums. I start with drums.
Me too.
You too? Like I heard many do that. I actually do, especially on the kicks. I separate, like I have kicks, then I have hi-hats and everything metal. Then I have snares, then I have like toms and fills and all that stuff. After that, I have my any kind of effects like swooshes, riser, or whatever. Then it comes like bass. Then comes everything else like melodies, pianos,
Yeah.
and whatever. So yeah, I really need that. I really need to color code it to be fast. So I try to stay away like a couple of days from the project to have some.
Does it work out?
No, not really. But at the very end, it just makes sure the music works. I mean, if there are technical issues still in there, it's not that of a big problem because it's a demo anyway.
What kind of technical problems are you talking about?
Like low end problems, or like vocals are too sizzly or something like that. Just want to. For me, it just makes the music needs to work.
Your music needs to work.
Yeah, I mean for a demo purpose. I'm just talking for the demo purpose, for sure.
But it still needs to go to a mix down.
For sure. I try
Yeah,
to try to do a best mix I can, because I find it very hard, and I would even not considering producing the song, recording the song, and mixing and mastering the song. Try to find someone else for that job. But it's we don't have that money to spend on someone else for mixing a demo record.
No. Mixing, you told me it's hard sometimes. What is the hardest part for you mixing a song?
What is the hardest part? I think, like I told you, I still have some issues in my room. Probably also like phase cancellation between the speakers.
Room modes.
Yeah, so I think it's for sure the low end. I mean, I have my my solution for this. I use just a pretty cool pair of headphones, which are actually for DJ purpose. But you know, I think that's one of the things I struggle with a lot. Like probably everyone else do too.
Yeah, sure. Because treating your room for bass response is one of the hardest parts
Yeah,
to
keeping
do.
everything in phase, no room modes,
No
and
room modes.
keep it clean. You know, just have a yeah, and just make sure that the song works.
I mean, the room doesn't have to be totally flat
Mm-hmm.
because that doesn't work.
That's not the reality
No,
at all,
it's
right?
not the reality. But yeah, I don't think you're gonna get better. You're making. I don't know. I don't think it produces better mixes having a flat
No,
room.
not at all. Not at all. I think it's the experience makes the biggest difference. Of course, you need to hear what you're doing,
Yeah, sure.
but at the very end, if you know how to handle stuff,
Yeah,
it's
sure. It's about you being one with the room
hmm
and the speakers. You know
yeah,
that
right,
is probably the biggest part of making a good mix down.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Mixing a track like in the box, you use a lot of plugins.
I mean, it depends. I try to stay away from using or to how to say that. I really want to make sure I just use something for a purpose. So I have certain plugins that I use for a certain sound. Especially, I really love the SSL 400 4000 E channel
That's
from
amazing.
Plugin Alliance. It's one of my favorite SSL emulations, and I use this on pretty much yeah a lot of stuff.
But there's another the channel strip you like as well. You thought,
Oh, the Omni channel.
yeah.
Shout out to Andrew Chaps for this one. Yeah, it's pretty it's a pretty nice one for vocals especially. I also like it on bass sometimes because I love the EQ. I don't know why, but it's far away from subtle.
Really.
But it does something really nice. I love the high end on the EQ there. I really love it's probably my first it's a channel strip, so it
Yeah.
has compression as well, so you can choose from VCA, fat compressor, opto, and something soft. I don't know actually what's the difference between soft and opto. Um, but it's the first time I start compressing just the hair, and it I don't know, it's joy of working with this one.
I can imagine. The only shame is the Wave plugin.
It's a wave one, yeah.
I mean, they're really destroying the industry with their paid update plans, and
hmm It's a tough one, yeah.
it's debatable.
Yeah, it's available, absolutely. But you know, they have really I love their tools. Of course I use more plugins and I use a lot of waves actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do. I do. I love Arvox, for example. Just to get that final touch of compression. Just not a lot, but it does something to especially to vocals, which I don't know if any other compressor can do that.
talking about your plugin chain for vocals, do you use a lot or minimal or?
It depends. It depends on how the vocal sounds. I'm working with a rapper. He's a very sibilant rapper, so I really have to make sure it's not too sibilant, and I have to do a lot of de-essing stuff, um, especially in the 3.5 and 10K area. Both are pretty strong.
Yeah, double S's.
Yeah, like the sh and the sounds, and of course T and like
Yeah.
all the plosives. Um, but Yeah, for that purpose, I really love the simple de-esser from Waves. I don't know why, but I'm so used to it. I'm used to the sound and where to put frequencies and stuff. So I'm getting to my results fast with this one.
Is that the only DS you use?
No, sometimes I use Soothe for that purpose.
So that's amazing.
It's crazy.
Not even for only for vocals, but almost on anything to reduce the resonances.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's also like you can like how to say that? It's you can overuse it fast. If it's too much, I think it's dead in the track, like the song, you know.
Talking about resonance suppression, did you check out already the Pro Q4?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. No.
I was wondering what your opinion was about their type of resonance compression.
Yeah. No. But I will. I'm still in a couple of projects, and I don't have much time to really do something else. So, I think after I finish this, I'm pretty curious about it for sure.
We're gonna take a rain check on that.
I'm pretty sure it's super dope. But you know, Soothe gives me everything I need for now.
Why change a winning team?
Right. Never change a winning team.
The amount we talked about in our conversation before this, you try to limit the amount of plugins that you're using.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's because I put everything on my laptop. I don't have every plugin I have on my studio computer, but I really try to focus not too much on the details. I think that's a really good approach of getting a mix and not destroying it or making it too lifeless, especially with tools like Soothe and all that stuff. I mean, I do have Soothe too here on my laptop because it's the favorite sidechaining tool for bass kick and stuff. But you know, I start off on my laptop with a pair of headphones with just an SSL channel strip with a Pro Q with a de-esser, and that's pretty much it. And I try to get as far as I can just with these little tools and the omnichannel.
And the omnichannel, sure. But at some point you need to go to the studio because headphones are not sufficient enough.
Right.
And then you got two pairs of great speakers.
Yeah.
I was surprised by the APS. A little bit less surprised by the Adam audios, but they're still.
I mean, it's all the way it's set up actually, because the Adam are awesome for like taking a lens and having that really detailed view. You know, if there's anything like too peaky or like I really hear that final compression touches. I really hear it pretty good on those. Or when I want to go really loud, like I'm having a dance track and I just want to see how it sounds really loud. So they are pretty dope for it. But I feel like starting on these just gives me already too much details. Yeah, as funny as it sounds, but I feel like when I start on the APS, which is actually the classic 2020 or something, I think they're not gonna sell it anymore. I'm not even sure if the company still exists. But shout out to my guy from Picos Audio. He how to say that? He told me to buy these, and they're pretty darn good for their purpose. It's insane. I love it. I love to start on these.
It's amazing, really a true mixing speaker, and it has a little bit the characteristics of an NS10, but it sounds better than an NS10.
Probably, yeah. I think it's the same effect probably as the NS10 gives, because it's, as we all know, it's not a really good speaker.
I had a love-hate relationship with this.
Yeah, but you know, it's probably more of the real world outside of a studio, like how do people listen to music. I mean, nowadays it's totally different actually, but you know, when I start with these, I don't get my ears don't get tired too fast, especially with these ribbon tweakers. They're really like detailed, and if you like when I listen too long on these, like too loud especially, then I get tired really fast, and I can
really
I can make like good decisions anymore.
But isn't that because we're getting older, we're not 25 anymore. Yeah, but at the age of 25, you can do about anything with your ears.
Yeah, probably.
But the older you become, the sooner ear fatigue and brain fatigue comes.
Probably, yeah.
But is it probably a combination for you between those?
Yeah, I think. I mean, like, I'm really too happy to have both. I wouldn't miss one of them for
I
sure.
can imagine.
So yeah, like I have my method how I start off with when mixing. So I love to start on the APS, and then like later on, like I switch from time to time to check stuff on the bigger ones, and I have a full session like doing checking stuff, like especially in the low end on my headphones. It's a pretty good combination. I don't know, it works for me.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah,
If
right.
it works for you, it's your studio, not mine.
Yeah, right. And I mean, the clients are happy too, so it seems to work.
That really is awesome, important.
Yeah.
As long as you got a good feeling of delivering a good product to your clients.
Right. That's the most important for me, actually. Like to make the client happy and everyone, you know, especially when I have artists that are on bigger stages and everything. I just have to make sure everything sits right. So yeah, that's the combination that works for me.
If you look back in your career, because you're at least 25 years in the game,
something like this, 20.
what was the most memorable thing you ever experienced?
The most memorable thing, like being on stage in front of a couple of thousand people, just playing your song.
It's an amazing feeling.
It is truly amazing. It's an undescribable feeling. Yeah, it's just that goosebump moment.
When they bounce to your beat, it's like
yeah. Or seeing someone else performing your song, or even your mix. I mean, I just had a mix that went #1 in Germany, which is pretty awesome. I'm not saying it's the best mix because the circumstances was pretty tough though, but I think it worked pretty well. And that's all those little things are really good.
We're talking about the good, but there's also probably the bad. What was the biggest downfall?
I mean, what's the downfall? I think if you put heart in something, like if you produce music and you think it's good and it gets rejected or something. I mean, there's no big thing that happened to me, luckily, but of course, like if you send out your music and the people don't like it or something, you know, for sure, that's.
And Michael Jordan said this right. He succeeded 250 shots, but he failed 1,000 shots.
Yeah.
And as long as you keep standing up one time more than you failed,
right,
you will be better.
For sure. I mean, just look at those big stars. I mean, even I don't want to say something wrong, but guys like Elvis or something, they produced like I don't know how many 100 of songs, but how many became famous? Like 40 of them or something.
I know
that's the Iceberg.
You know this
meme, like with the iceberg meme?
I know my favorite rapper Eminem. I saw a documentary with him, and he was talking. I wake up and there's everything comes out of my head. But out of the 100 tracks, not even one, probably one, only sees the daylight.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I mean, that's how it goes, right? We all know if you're a little bit in the game, you know how things work, and you know that you get lots of negative vibe, lots of rejections and all that stuff. So that's you just know how to deal with.
The industry itself, it changed rapidly throughout the years. What is the most positive thing for you of all these changes?
Like for especially music making, it's like the availability of tools, if that makes sense. Like I said before, nowadays you can produce music everywhere. You know, you don't need a lot of stuff. You can make a hit song with just a laptop, headphones, a microphone, and you're done.
That's it.
I actually kind of like that because gives me more freedom. Like I can, you know, I don't have to be here to make music. I can be, I don't know, somewhere else. I can be on an island. I mean, I am on an island, but I can be at the beach
Yeah,
and just make music, you know, and I love that. So the technology is pretty far.
but yeah, technology is really far, but I don't say disturbing, but I'm a little bit worried about the future of music with things like AI.
Yeah, that's a big one. I can't tell where it all goes. I really hope that AI is just like a helping tool or will be a helping tool, and it's not taking over. But I think not. Maybe it's just like everything, you know. If there's something new, it gets hyped like crazy, you know. Everyone uses it, and then after they feel like, oh, okay, it's too much. Let's go back.
Yeah,
So let's see. I can tell where it all ends. But I'm just hoping, especially for like music, for creativity and all that, that it only will be a helping tool. For now, it is
it
actually.
is.
It is.
But I'm curious if it would take over.
I don't think so. I don't know
Yeah,
why, but there's something
the,
in me that
the funny thing is when I listen to Suno and some tracks that are produced, I'm like, okay.
yeah.
But like I said, my favorite rapper, I saw yesterday a YouTube video from him with 50 Cent and Snoop Dogg, and that was made by AI, and it sounded like shit. No,
Like shit or like
shit,
this shit.
shit,
Okay, like shit.
shit.
Yeah.
Really, the flow of Eminem was not
Yeah.
even close.
I mean, it's it's I think it's not really about that. It's how the people or what the people are used to, especially with those like dubbing stuff from, like, say TikTok or something. Like you get those dubbing vocals that sound where you can hear it's AI created because that's has these artifacts and everything in there, but people get used to it.
Yeah, but this is really a funny story. This is kind of musical evolution. Back in the days, we had vinyl, and then we started CD, and people were complaining, "Yeah, it sounds way too sterile." And but look where we become now. We all have streaming. We all have loudness penalties. The degradation of quality, yo.
Yeah.
To me, that is the biggest disappointment. And I know we're listening on earbuds, and
Yeah.
it really is changing, but it's not always getting better.
Not really. I mean, it's always a definition of better. You know what I mean? Like
Sound quality wise,
sound quality wise,
it's,
I'm with you. Yeah.
it's not getting better. It's getting better. In your pocket, your smartphone, tons of music that you want to listen
Always
to.
available.
Yeah, always available.
Right.
As long as you have internet,
You're online.
but only the quality.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. I mean, it's there's always pros and cons. Like I said, I can't really tell well where all this AI thing will go, and yeah, I really just hope that it's not destroying like creativity. That's what I hope for me. You know, like
That's also a funny thing. Us people, we like to be lazy because we like to settle for comfort. And you mentioned it. I hope it's not going to destroy creativity, but as soon as we're going to really settle for comfort, creativity will be destroyed.
Yeah, maybe you're right. So, like I said, I can't tell where it all ends. Let's just hope for it. Like, especially like we are directly in the music scene. We are creatives, you know.
Yeah.
For us, it would be a disaster for sure. But like for the people, it's probably, like I said, they get used to these AI voices. For them, it's okay. I'm used to it, so that's how it should sound. So there's no difference in sound quality anymore because that's the way how it sounds.
Yeah.
You know, and AI is getting better, so probably in a couple of years you don't hear any artifacts anymore.
No. Yeah, and it's getting rapidly better.
That's right. That's right. I don't know how the all the right thing is going, how they will handle all the rights and stuff, you know,
There
with
were
the
a couple of videos on YouTube, and they Suno busted all the copyrights for artists that made vocals or complete tracks with.
hmm
So there is some kind of regulation for that now, but
Do you know if I remember there was a time when Spotify just kicked off a couple of million AI created songs.
still do,
They still do,
still do.
so it's a good thing.
Yeah. I'm happy that, and I'm happy that happens because
Yeah, me too.
music is made by humans.
For me too. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we talked about this before. We have one thing in common. That's why you probably watch this channel. We all are nerds for technique. We all have a big passion for music.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's see. Let's
Let's
see
see.
where it all ends. Let's hope for the best.
We're gonna chop this off. It's a great episode, man. It's a great talk.
Nice, nice.
Happy to be here in your studio. If there's anything left to say for you, a message, whatever you want to say, it's yours.
Call me if you need a mix or a master.
And subscribe.
And subscribe for this. Yeah. Thanks for being here.
Yeah,
Thanks
it's
for the
an
nice
amazing
episode, man.
experience. I'm really, I'm happy to see your studio and happy to meet you. We
Yeah,
were
me too.
talking about this for a very long time, at least a
sure.
year.
For sure, for sure. I think like, I don't know, yeah. I think the last time was last year you asked to join. I think there was a time when I was in
Malaga.
Malaga. Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, so it's probably a year. Yeah.
And before that, I was in Cartagena, and we talked about this.
Yeah. I mean, nice that we made it happen.
Beautiful people, that's it for this episode. I want to thank Dennis for having me. I want to thank you for watching me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, drop a comment in the box below, subscribe to my channel. And for now, until we meet again, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Really, man.
Nice one, huh?